This episode is sponsored by Fizz in Linden.
Fizz is our very favorite place to get sodas, coffees, smoothies, energy drinks, and snacks.
Check out Fizz in Linden today for all of your drinky needs. Welcome back to Senior Sessions. My name is Courtney. I'm one of your co-hosts, and this is Ocean Marshall. And today we have Mrs. Cannon.
So excited.
Yay! And your name is Shannon Cannon.
We're going to start there.
Well, I haven't written
My
down.
name is Shannon Cannon.
So is your husband's last name Cannon then?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like intentional.
My parents did not do that to me. I did that to myself, yeah. And we were like really good friends before we started dating. And we would joke that we were brother and sister and my name rhymed and it was really funny. Until we started dating.
And then you were like,
it's not funny
"Hold
anymore."
on."
I actually need to consider this.
But I always say that I must love him a lot to do that to myself for the rest of my life.
I think it's kind of cute. It's kind of like poetic.
It's catchy for sure.
Yeah, it's
but I
kinda-
can't like do anything and get in trouble because then people remember me. So
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, not like I'm a super big trouble. You know.
You know. Yeah. Okay, so today we have, what's the drink called?
So water, it's just I just made it. It's just
okay.
water and lime and coconut. So
I don't do soda. I don't do carbonate. I'm like
Yeah.
such a wimp because it burns my throat.
It burns your throat?
I'm such a baby about it. Like if you leave a soda out for all day long, then I can drink it.
That's so funny.
So anyway,
Okay.
so this is lime and coconut.
Yeah, lime
Okay.
and coconut.
Let's taste it.
I'm
that's
not
kinda
getting any
nice.
hints of coconut.
Oh.
Actually, love this. I'm
I
not
do.
getting the coconut either, but
I feel like I
I
can
could drink
taste
this.
coconut. I think I actually.
Maybe an aftertaste of coconut.
Mm-hmm.
no,
It's
yeah, I can
very
taste it.
limey.
I feel like I
Yeah.
smell the
It's
lime.
very good though.
You're in the same room as the
I'm in
lime.
the same room as the lime. Yeah.
That's funny.
No, that's actually really good.
Yeah, it's good.
That's like refreshing. That's
Oh, okay.
nice. Okay.
And then, okay, well that's good to know.
Good to know.
Keep that in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so first question. When and why did you come to Mazer?
Okay, I forget this all the time. I think I came to Mazer in 2012, and my kids. So my kids started at Mazer the second year it was open.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, so we were over in the bowling alley with the Cafe Gymatorium and all of the fun jazz over there. And I had just started teaching that year at Timpanogos Academy, which some people in our school have been there, so they know that.
I went there.
Did you go there? Yeah. Did you have Mrs. Cannon?
Yeah. No, I didn't, but I know
Oh,
who she
yeah.
is.
She's my sister-in-law. So
Oh,
we married
I was like,
brothers.
I thought you were saying like, did you have me? And I was like,
No.
why are you talking about yourself
Yeah.
in the third person? I'm so confused. Okay.
Buckle up. So we married brothers.
Okay.
And
that's
I got the
cool.
cute one, but anyway.
Aww.
So I taught there for 4 years and was watching Mazer as my kids were going through it and knew like the mission and what they were doing over there. And I was like, I really want to go teach. So one day I just was like, I think I'm going to do this. So I called up and I just said, I think I was talking to Miss Shumwin, who's like the board president. I was like, if you ever have a position open? And then they called me like that week and interviewed me and said, come
Oh
over.
my
So then
gosh.
like I got to come over and teach.
That's so
And I love it. Yeah, I'm at Mazer because like it fits with what I believe.
That's so cool. So did you start right away with Socratic or?
So I know I wanted to.
Yeah.
No, I paid my dues.
Yeah.
I taught 7th and 8th grade English for 4 or 5 years. And then one summer, like one of the 9th grade Socratic teachers was like, and I kept telling them like, if you have an opening. Actually, what I was telling them was we should do Socratic in 7th and 8th, but nobody would listen. That's fine. Anyway, so then there was a teacher in the 9th grade who needed like a co-teacher because she was going to end up doing something else. And so they called me in the summer and was like, hey, we need you to do this. And I was like,
Yeah.
I love to
yeah.
teach Socratic. I know
Yeah.
nothing about ancient Greece and Rome. So I would like go down every day to Mr. Simmons and be like, so why is this document in the Socratic Bible? Like, tell me about this.
Do you
So-
want to read
yeah.
it together?
so, but that was my in into Socratic, and then I taught that for just 1 year, like half of the year, and then I taught. Then I moved to 11th Socratic, and then 12th, and I've taught all of the other little things. I taught government for several years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which
That's
I
so
love. I would love to go back and teach government, but Gary's awesome, so that's fine. And I taught world religions, and I taught adult roles, and I taught classical foundations, and I've taught all of the Socratics, and anyway.
Didn't you say that you taught math?
I taught math.
Was I like tweaking?
No, I taught math at Timpanogos Academy.
Oh, okay.
Because at Timp Academy, you have to teach like all of the things.
Right.
So I've taught PE and drama, and
Oh my god.
I directed 2 musicals.
Wow. So
Mr.
you really
Glenn was in one of them.
you were just a 3-trick pony. You're like an 18-trick pony.
Well, you kind of have to be at
Yeah.
smaller schools,
Yeah.
and then also like in just the model that I was in. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, have you had like a favorite that you've taught?
Well, Socratic 12.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. Like, I
Yeah.
honestly, like, I love the content. I love the age, because you guys are just, like, at this point where you're, like, getting ready to go out into life, and plus you're brilliant, and so I get to learn and
Oh.
discuss, and it goes deep, you know, and
Yeah.
then you're my friends for the rest of
Oh.
my life, which, like, makes me so happy. So, anyway, yeah. I think that's really, honestly, like, my favorite.
That's so cool.
Maybe
cool.
government would be second.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so why did you become a teacher?
Because I couldn't figure out how to be a DJ. That's actually not true. But when I was growing up, I wanted to be a DJ.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I actually DJed a few dances when I was in high school.
So that's
So-
and you've DJed a few dances.
I just
later.
DJed one, and it was like literally like everyone just like putting things on my phone and saying this song next. So, but it was fun. I mean, I love it. But anyway, that's not a life's path really for me. But when I went to college, I was like, well, okay, maybe not DJing, but maybe I'll go into like advertising or marketing, something like along those lines. And I took one class, and I was like, oh, so this feels like all deception. And I wasn't my vibe.
Like,
Yeah.
So then I was going to be a music teacher. And one semester of that was like, oh, so I didn't really learn as much theory as I thought I did. And like, I was at BYU, so everybody was brilliant and had,
Yeah.
you know, so I was like, that's not going to work. So then I went into education, which has been fabulous. And all of my grandmother is a teacher, or was a teacher. My parents were both teachers. All of my siblings are teachers. So
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you went to BYU,
Mm-hmm.
and what did you get your degree in?
My actual degree is in elementary education.
Okay.
So I have, my certificate is 1 through 8.
Okay.
So, but now you teach high school.
Yes, I do.
So
Yeah, and because I'm in a charter school, they can like have you teach things that you're not necessarily, like a lot of our teachers they have their bachelor's degree in biology or, you know, whatever it is, but not an education
Right.
license. And so then they have alternative routes to licensure. And so
Mm-hmm.
charter schools have the option of like
Mm,
kind of wiggle room. And anyway, yeah. So that's
Alright.
why I am where I am.
cool.
I'm hoping I can stay
So,
there.
did you have like a specific subject that you wanted to teach when you went into teaching, or you're kind of just like?
Well, yeah, I mean, like my student teaching was in first grade, so
So you were just doing everything.
I was just
really.
doing everything, yeah. But when I started teaching, my first teaching job at Timp Academy, which was like, 17, 18 years after I graduated, I was in 8th grade.
Wait, that was your first year of teaching was 17 to 18 years after.
So I graduated 6 days after my second baby was born.
Oh.
C-section. So it's fun.
Got you.
So
you liked it.
and then I had had 2
Okay,
kids,
that
and
makes
I was
sense.
like,
That
I'm not
makes
going to be
sense.
able to teach
Right.
with my babies, and I didn't want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah. So anyway, yeah. What was the question?
No, I think you answered it.
Okay.
I think that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That
Anyway.
makes sense.
Okay, so do you have any tips for seniors now, like trying to?
I mean, we're
read
like-
all the
yeah,
books.
like,
Isn't
we're
that what it says? I'm just kidding. Sorry, go
Facts.
ahead.
No, literally so real. But like with
But,
college,
like with colleges.
Ooh.
I mean, we talk about it like
Yeah.
every day, but
Yeah, I mean, I think the advice that my dad gave me, and I think he knew, like, I was not the smartest one in my family.
same.
At least like ACT wise and like
Yeah.
IQ wise. I think there's other ways to be. Anyway, we don't
Yeah.
need to go to that. But anyway, so when I went to college, he was like, Shannon, just go and have fun and do the best you can.
He's like, live your life to the fullest.
Yeah, and so I mean, I think relax. I think a lot of times we think about. I mean, it is a really fun time of life, and you're exploring all kinds of subjects. and trying to figure out what you want to do. And I think, like, I watched everybody yesterday with a college update, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, don't worry about if you have the exact major that you're going to, like, end on. Like, I changed my major 3 times. It's okay. Like, just go and take lots of classes and have fun. And, I mean, not too much fun, but have fun. But, yeah, I mean, like, just kind of relax. Don't be too stressed, I think, about it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to, like, I think it's easy to feel like you have to have everything figured out, and nobody does.
Yeah.
And if they say they do, they're lying. So, you know.
That is so real.
Yeah.
And I probably need to hear that. Because,
Yeah, it's okay.
take a deep breath. Yeah. Okay, cool.
If you get worried, come see me. We'll
Yeah.
eat crepes and chill.
Chill. Yes. We love.
There we go.
Okay, so we asked our Instagram what they wanted to hear from you.
Dear. Okay. Not
So
stressful
some of
at
these
all.
questions, we're going to go through all these questions. A lot of these are from the Instagram. Some of these I just throw in there because...
Okay.
But the first one, this was in the Instagram like 3 or 4 times.
Oh.
People want to hear about how you and Doug met.
Oh gosh.
And all of that. Because we hear
Okay.
about Doug like all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so Doug and I were in the same ward together at BYU. We were in the same family home evening group. And he saw me. He says he saw me the first day I was playing the piano for one of the church meetings. And he was like, oh, he told his roommate, look at that cute girl down there. She's playing the piano or whatever. And his roommate was like, oh, yeah. So his roommate asked me out.
His roommate asked
Yeah,
you?
it's crazy.
What?
Yeah, so he's very happy about that. But so I dated his roommate.
Bro,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Broken.
Yeah, well, I had taken German in high school and college, and his roommate spoke German, and so I was like, oh, this is so awesome. So we dated a couple times, and then actually maybe once, and then and then we were supposed to go to homecoming. Well, he asked my cousin out, who was my roommate. So he asked her out.
The roommate.
Well, because I dated, not dating, but I went on a date with his roommate.
Okay.
And so then he was like, he convinced his roommate not to ask me out again because he's like, well, if you go out with the same girl twice, then, and he had a missionary or something, like a sister missionary that he was writing to. So he was like, if you ask her out again, then you might be dating and then you won't be waiting for your sister missionary or whatever. And
really
so,
shamed him into that, huh?
yeah, so he's like, so you got to ask out somebody else for homecoming. And so Doug asked out my cousin, who was my roommate at the time.
What?
And he went out with her, and then his roommate went out with somebody else, and I got to stay home for homecoming. But
Wait, but I thought. Okay.
I know it was not. He's still in trouble. But anyway, he would come over to see my cousin to get to know her a little bit before he took her out to homecoming. He'd knock on the door and be like, "Hey, Sally Ann here," and I was there, and I was like, "No." And so he would stay,
No, but I am.
and we would talk. We would talk for like 2 hours until my cousin got home, and then he'd say, "Hey," and then leave. And he did that like every night for like a couple of weeks, and by the time
And he knew you were gonna be home.
by the time they went to homecoming, he realized that he'd asked the wrong girl. So anyway, so then we started dating after that.
Aww, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any relationship advice?
I have a lot, and probably
I think that's kind of your. I feel like that's kind of your thing. A little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think as far as relationships go, I mean, I think like build a good friendship. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to like, maybe not easy. I think a lot of people like flip into like, you know, boyfriend girlfriend, like cuddly, like all of that stuff mode before they get to
friends.
Yeah,
be
get to
friends
know
and
each
get
other. Yeah. Yeah, and have somebody that you like really like to talk to. Because I mean, I dated quite a bit before I met Doug, and it would always end because I would just like be like, oh, this is, like, I don't really have anything else to talk to you about, you know?
Yeah.
And with Doug, I was like, at some point it's gonna happen that like I get bored and there's nothing else, and it just never did. Like even now, I'm just like we're going to St. George this weekend, and I'm like, I can't wait to like have a road trip and we can talk.
Like,
and
ooh, 4 hours.
Yeah, you can't get out of the car. We're gonna visit. So anyway,
Yeah.
So like find someone that you can really talk to.
Mm-hmm.
How's that? Is that okay?
Yeah, good. Yeah. For sure. That's so cute. Okay, so you do family sciences, which kind of goes along with the relationship advice. So how did you get into family sciences? How did you like start?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we did like a poverty and homelessness winter room, and I did like an upcycling winter room where we brought power tools into the school, and it was
so sick.
crazy. And I've done world religions and lots of different things, and it's always like when you're trying to think of a winter room, it's always like, what am I interested in? What am I kind of okay at, or what am I interested in learning that I could share with students that would be valuable? And I don't remember why I thought of this. But as soon as it hit me that I wanted to do family sciences and that I wanted to have like just to go to the cabin and kind of practice all the things that we discussed, it just felt like it fit. Like it just felt like kind of magical to me. And it really is like, to me, it's like it feels like I'm filling like a space that's so needed. Anyway, and I don't know, like it just like every time we're up there, it just feels like almost sacred. Like it's just really, it just feels really important. And every time I know I can't take everybody, it just like breaks my heart. So I'm like, I just want to take all of them. So I'm still working on, anyway. But
so how many years have you been doing it for?
This will be, I think, my 6th year.
Okay.
Wow,
That's crazy. And you're doing it with Houghton this year, right?
Yes.
And before that, you did it with Moser.
Yes.
So did you do it with someone else before?
The first year, we just had moms come as chaperones, and that was fun. And then Moser did it with me for the next few years, and then this is the first year that Moser's not going to be there. So
That's
it'll
crazy.
be Mrs. Houghton. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I know. And we kind of have our group too, like.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see
how it switches
if
up.
if it's different much. Yeah. We know like what snacks we like. And anyway,
yeah,
that's fun.
That's so cool. So going along with like family sciences, do you have like, because I feel like it's kind of like a, what's the word? Like a renowned, like famous winter home. Like everyone knows family sciences, and even when you're in 7th grade, you're like, one day I will do family sciences.
In 7th grade?
Yeah,
that's so true.
Yes.
I remember you're be like, oh, the people in family sciences, that's gonna be me one day.
Awesome. Boys have cooties, but family sciences. Okay.
Yeah. And so, do you have any like funny stories from family sciences?
None that I will tell you.
Oh, okay.
Well, funny stories from family sciences. Let's come back to that.
Is it a little bit like what happens at the cabin stays at the cabin?
Kind of. No, but like I will say that this, like again, like I feel like, and I always like talk to whoever's up there with me, like this is like the cabin is where my grandpa. It's on the land where my grandpa was born and raised. And we used to go up there and visit like this old decrepit cabin when I was little. Like we'd ride our horses up there and stuff. And then eventually my dad bought the land back from the guy that had bought it and was going to build or refurbish that cabin, but it was so decrepit that he just had to like raise it and then build a new one. And so this is like a legacy cabin. Like it's literally 2 miles from my dad's house. It's not like up at some like famous like park or anything. Like it's just family cabin. And so it's sacred space. So even though crazy things happen up there, like, nothing inappropriate happens up there.
Yeah. And it's kind of like it's like a national park for your family. It's like
I mean it's really important. And so I mean, but as far as crazy stories go, let's put a pin in that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so someone asked, what should we take advantage of the most this year? Like in Socratic. As seniors. In seniors or in Socratic.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, okay, so the books are amazing. My current favorite in Socratic 12 is Life of Pi. And
when did we read that?
We read that in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a minute until we get to that. And but I feel like maybe what was the question? Advice?
What should we take advantage of?
Take advantage of. Yeah, I mean, like you have this opportunity to sit in a classroom of people who are all like practiced in thinking deeply and trying to like question and figure stuff out and find principles and how to apply them. And I think that the thing that I would recommend people take advantage of is just that opportunity, because I think it's so easy to come in with, oh, I know that my viewpoint is right, rather than like, what can I learn from every single person in this room, and what can I learn from every conversation in this room. Like, I feel so privileged to be able to come in and like talk to you guys every day
100%.
and listen, you know, and learn, because I feel like almost every day I go out of Socratic, like my ideas have been refined and enriched. And so I think just open your mind and don't be so like clamped down on what you think you already know.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like that's the whole point of Socratic, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I think it's easy to come in and be like, oh, I already know this stuff, I already know what I know, and I have all of the truth, like, don't worry about it, I got this, you know.
What?
I'm just here to tell you all what to think, you know.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next person asked, this kind of goes along with it, what is your favorite thing to discuss?
Ooh.
And I mean, that might be kind of broad, but...
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the conversations that happen with like Men's Search for Meaning and also Life of Pi, Everything Said Is Untrue, a lot of those same things kind of come back to this like idea of like just how to live and how to yeah, I mean, I guess I think probably my favorite thing, though, really, right now is Life of Pi, because there's a lot of discussion about faith and doubt and, like, how you view your life, and I don't know. It'll make sense when you get there.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I just...
Yeah,
it's so powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I'm
cool.
so articulate.
No, you are. No, I'm the same way. It's okay. And yeah, once we read Life of Pi, we'll come back and listen to this and be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so, yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, what is this question saying? Okay. Next person asked, what...
These are still from Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe these are Courtney's.
Well, okay, we kind of mix them up.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you notice that students don't think that you notice? Like, what are some things that you like see that students don't think?
About students.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know, because I could be like I've taught for so many years that like the answer that like immediately comes to my mind is like, when you're on your cell phone and you don't think that I know that. You think I'm like stupid and I haven't been teaching forever and I don't, you know.
It's like, girl, be so for
Yeah, and or like when you don't annotate well, or you just like fake annotate and you're like, like I had some boys one year who, did I tell you guys this already? Not here, but like I had these boys that bragged to Mr. Watabe that they.
Oh yeah.
Did I tell you this in class? Yeah, that they hadn't annotated. They just fake annotated, and haha, Mrs. Cannon didn't know, and I'm like, this is your education you're messing with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't tell.
Yeah.
But do you think I'm gonna babysit that, right? And so I mean, I just think like, I think students maybe don't know that I know when they're checked out. But like, I can only care about your education as much as you do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so, like, I hope that you're there for good reasons. I feel like why would I tell you guys this? But but like, I'm not oblivious to the fact that you're on your phone, or that you've got, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it kind of like ties back to the discussion that we have junior year. I think I said this today in class too.
Oh yeah.
Like, we talk about in junior year, like, your education and like what that means, and like how it's all like your agency that like directs it. I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of that. Yeah.
Another thing I don't as I'm thinking about it again, excuse me, like one of the other things that I notice that I don't think people know that I notice is just like I read emotions pretty like readily, and so like, and I'm you're constantly, I think maybe as a teacher this is common, you're constantly like reading your crowd, like how's everybody doing, and you like it can sometimes be heavy because you're like trying to help everybody all the time, and that's a lot. But like, you know, I mean, I care, and so anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice. Okay. Someone asked, "What's your worst mazer memory?" But and then in parentheses they put funny.
My worst funny mazer memory. You guys really should have sent these over ahead of time. This is the stuff I was like up late.
We like literally wrote these down as you were here.
Yeah.
And if you don't have one,
Worst? Oh no, I have them, but like that's the thing. Like, do I want to tell them?
Yeah.
Worst mazer memory. Okay. But funny.
It could be not funny. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's okay.
Let me see if let me see if I like. Just. Do you guys edit these?
I do.
Like when there's thinking. Moments?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
you have one.
I for sure have one. I don't know if I have one that I would want to share.
Yeah.
Let me think about that one too.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
think about that one
That's
too.
fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We can get that. Okay. Do you have, because your whole like job is you read with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes,
so do
I
you have what? Yeah. So do you have a favorite book
Period. Like in all of
the
Just
world?
the world.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that like Life of Pi is your favorite book that we read this
Yeah.
year, but
Yeah. I absolutely love Les Mis. And I love C.S. Lewis's Weight of Glory is a collection of essays, and there are especially a couple of them in there that just like come up over and over and over again. His essay on transposition, and which I'm dying to read with someone more intelligent, so I can make sure I'm not thinking about it wrong. And then his essay Weight of Glory is just impactful. Other books that I loved, I'm actually really loving Everything Said is Untrue.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to buy that one. It was
I
so
wanna
good.
read that
The
one 'cause
excerpts you read
the
were
excerpts-
so good.
Yeah.
So insane.
Yeah.
All of the readings thus far actually
Yeah.
have been insane.
Good. Yay.
Yay!
That means we're doing our job.
Yeah. Yippee!
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, next one is favorite music.
Because you're always playing music.
Also,
In the
you
morning?
wanted to be a DJ. What?
I know.
So tell us.
Do you know what so maybe you guys can help me with this. For the last, every time I've taught senior Socratic, I've done a song of the day,
Yeah.
and I don't know how I got off of that this year.
Well, you have like a few times.
I have a few times, but like I used to do my every single day. I think it's just like my DJ, like I want to be a DJ coming out. Like I really, yeah. But I have very eclectic music taste, and I'm also pretty picky. If those two things can coexist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like lots of different music types. Yeah, and I just have like different songs that I'm listening to. But like styles of music, you mean? Or
Yeah, sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Favorite artist, favorite song, whatever.
I mean, obviously, I like a lot of 80s stuff.
Mhm.
But also, like, yeah, I don't know. I've listened to just everything, you know. Alec Benjamin
My
is
mom likes
good.
it.
I like Elijah Woods has some good stuff, and oh my gosh, what else is on my playlist currently? And it's just so random, whatever I listen to. Yeah, there's just a lot of things. But I'm kind of like a turn up the music, roll down the windows, and like sing my guts out.
That's how I am too.
I
Kind of
love
person.
that.
So, yeah. So whatever I listen to, it's like it's gotta be loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had these big speakers in our family room when we lived in Eagle Mountain. And sometimes I would move them over into the sunshine. You know how the windows come through and there's like sun on the floor. And I would lay down on the carpet and put either the speakers on both. This is like, I don't know. And put the speakers on both sides and just like crank up the music.
That is
It's
so
like,
iconic.
I love that.
That is
Yeah.
heaven right there.
Anyway.
That's so cool. Okay. Do you have a crazy Mazer story?
Yeah. I have
You
a
can look at your notes app.
I can look at them. Yeah, I have a bunch of like little crazy stories, and then I
Yeah,
have one that I'll
go
tell you
ahead.
about. Like just like things that I remember. So one year, the seniors for their senior prank, they parked a car in the cafeteria. That was a crazy Mazer moment.
How did
How'd
they
they
get that
get
in
It was
there?
a little teeny car. It was like one of the little what do you call them? Like a
Compact car or something like
yeah, but it was like a small
Small
one.
one?
Anyway, yeah. So that was
Did
kind
they
of
like drive it like through like the lunchroom like doors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty epic.
What?
Crazy.
You should do that.
Oh, one time I was in Socratic 11 and this student was sitting at his desk and he was like a really big junior.
Mhm.
And the desk just imploded on him.
It
And
broke?
like it folded in on him as he was sitting in, like the front like came down like this because one of the metal bars had broken off and it impaled his leg.
That's my worst nightmare.
Like actually impaled
Like
it?
it broke, like it cut his pants open and he was bleeding a little. And then we couldn't get him out. We were like, jaws of life. How do we get this kid out of the desk? So we finally like had a whole bunch of people help and get him out. And then anyway, but then the saddest part was like he would come to school wearing the pants that had ripped, and people kept giving him uniform violations. I'm like, stop it! It was
Let
me.
this kid live.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was a crazy
Oh
moment.
my gosh.
Let's see. Another time we did the Mazer 5K, and one of my students.
Since when do we have a 5K?
Yeah, what?
They used to do it all the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That was
I
a
don't know.
while
It's
ago.
okay.
Yeah, anyway, this was actually, I think, like Mr. Glenn, one of the years that Mr. Glenn was there. But anyway, one of the students, like, paused by her house. It was, like, ran by her house. And she picked up her baby goats and brought her baby goats on the rest of the 5K. That was pretty
What?
funny.
I want a baby goat.
Yeah, it was pretty adorable. A couple, I don't know if these count as crazy moments, but, like, so last year seniors, when they did their dance as juniors
For Spirit Week?
for Spirit Week,
Insane.
I was in tears. That was so beautiful.
Is that the Spider-Man one?
Yeah.
So good. And then last year, when you guys did your haul and all of the photo shoot was on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And it was your entire class. I just in tears, like looking at anyway. So I just love it when you guys all get together and like create beautiful things. That's incredible to me. So, two more. Another one is when when we were up at the cabin. Maybe it was the crazy
The
cabin
crazy
story.
cabin story.
Yeah, last year, and Doug came in, and he didn't tell us when he was going to come, like he usually does, and so we didn't know for sure. I think I knew he was coming, but none of the students knew he was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, I talk about him too much, and like everybody gets him all hyped and whatever, but I'm like, he's that to me.
He's
so
hyped
it's
to
fine.
you,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but anyway,
You're not lying.
So he comes in the door, and we're all sitting around like discussing something or whatever, and all of a sudden, like as soon as everybody sees him, they all just disappeared, and I was like, what?
Like they all
was like,
left?
It was like they got sucked out of the room, and I was like, what is going on? It is so weird. Like usually everyone when Doug comes, they're like, Doug, and they all come up and they want him to like tell them stories and stuff, and they all just left, and I was like, that is the weirdest thing in the world. And I'm looking at him, and like Miss Moser and I are like, what's going on? And they come running back in, and they're all wearing their I Love Doug shirts.
Stop!
That's so cute.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. So that was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, there's my crazy cam story. Okay, and then here's my one more story.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna say this whole story without names. So here we
Okay,
go.
okay,
You
okay.
ready? Okay. So I was teaching Socratic 11 one year, and I was up in my prep doing some study, and I recognized like on the shelf there was this. So I think it's. Well, the great books from the University of Chicago is like a collection of like all of the great books, and we read a lot of them. But it's like all in one set. And then there's an index called the Syntopicon. This is gonna sound so nerdy. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
There's an index called the Syntopicon, and the Syntopicon has like 101 different topics or principles or ideas that we talk about in all these books that we read, and then it has like many like kind of essays that include all of the books and words
That's
throughout
really
history
cool.
that like talk about him, and then you can go and like look that up and see what they say about him. It's
That's
so cool.
That
I know,
is
so
cool.
cool. And I had heard of this before. Like I knew it existed, but I didn't realize that we had one at Mazer, and I was so excited. And the librarian had left already for the day, and it was up on top of the shelf. So I climbed up on the shelf, like I'm like standing on like the desk thing, and I pulled them down. And I took them to my classroom, which I'm not supposed to do because they're reference books, and so they're supposed to stay in the library. And so, but I was like, I have to look at these books. I was so excited.
Stole the books.
I know, I was so excited. So I took them to my classroom, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like fangirling over them for a few weeks. And then, I had that semester 2 TAs that were like not helpful. Well, I'm not very organized, so I couldn't really make him helpful. I'm not sure how that. They were like, can we have Mrs. Cannon for like they saw me coming, but anyway.
Yeah.
So they were in there. They usually like played Scrabble or something. I don't know. And so one day I had these. I was like, I gotta get these back to the library, but I can't take them back all the librarians there because that will be terrible. The librarian will know that I took these books from the library without asking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the librarian hasn't noticed because like
They're at the top.
yeah, they're up there at the top. Nobody knows that they even exist really, except for
You were really
me,
gonna
probably.
sneak them back in.
So I told these two TAs, I was like, I have a job for you. I need you to like figure out a way to sneak these back into the library.
Oh
and you
my
can't let the
gosh.
librarian
Oh
know. And I'm like, I'm not kidding, like you absolutely cannot let the librarian know. And so one of them like puts them in his like
Shut up.
jacket or something. I don't know, and like hides them, and I didn't know, like that was all I said. I said, here are the books, like, okay. And they come back and they're like, so this is what we did. We told the librarian that we needed to have an interview for PrintCon, and we pulled the librarian out in the hall, interviewed the librarian while the other person like snuck the books back in and climbed up on the shelf and put them back up there, and then they never.
That's so funny.
Anyway.
So funny.
Yeah.
The librarian's like, I wonder where my interview is.
I know. Anyway, yeah.
Oh
so
my gosh.
that's me being naughty, but for a good cause, maybe. Anyway,
It's okay.
That's my crazy
It's
story.
for education. It's,
Yeah.
it's chill.
For education.
It's good.
And since then, I've actually bought my own copy of the Centopicon. So if you ever
Is
want to
it
look at it,
worth
I
it?
actually have it on my shelf at the school.
How
so.
big is it?
Well, it's 2 volumes, and they're just both like about this thick.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
That's so cool.
But if you're ever like, I really want to know what the world has to say on pain or love or justice,
Oh my
whatever. it's all in
gosh.
there,
That's
so.
so cool.
I'm surprised they're only that big.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Well, the whole set is like 6 feet long. But like these are just like, this is just the index for like, this is, here's an essay about this thing, and then it references all of the.
And then you have to go find the essay yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
but the
okay.
essay that they write about it has it's pretty. It's a good synthesis of all of those sources. So
Okay.
it's kind of a cool discussion.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
you guys are so sweet. That's so cool.
No, I actually do think that's really cool.
Okay, good.
Okay, so do you have a teacher that you look up to, either like at Mazer or like from
Before
your
you came.
childhood?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking at Mazer, but teachers that I looked up to in my childhood. I mean, Mr. Bell, my 3rd grade year was rough. I didn't have any friends, and he was so kind to me and helped me learn how to play the ukulele. And it was just
Aww.
beautiful. But I had lots of teachers that I really loved growing up. And as far as at Mazer, I was thinking about this, and there's something, and even just today this happened. Like, I go in after my classes and sit down during prep, and there's always somebody in there who's like got some deep thoughts, and like I just love the people that I work with, and it's so cool to see each of them bring their talents and personalities and like their differences to their job, and to like the way that they love students and the way that they teach. And anyway, but our conversations in the faculty room, I don't know, they're really cool. Like I feel like I couldn't have those conversations with just
Anyone
anybody.
else.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For
So
sure.
anyway,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Sorry, I keep saying that's so cool. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that relationship is
They're my
awesome.
They're
Not
my
really
friends.
cool.
Like, I really do feel like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a super social person, and I have a big family, so, like, my family, like, my kids and
Those
my
are your
husband, those are my
friends.
friends. But also the teachers at school, and then my students, you know, and so I feel like my life is so full of, like, beautiful people that can discuss and love and inspire me. So
Yeah, and
it's
you're
cool.
both, like, here, so you both know that you're passionate about the similar things, you know.
Yeah.
And then you're able to expound on that, even if you have different opinions.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been there long enough to, like, watch all of the, not watch everybody, but, like, most of the teachers teach, and just to hear their stories, and just to know, like, again, like, you know, they all just bring such awesome things to the table in helping teach students. It's just really inspiring. So
Yeah. So that's cool. Okay, what's the number one lesson you've learned while being a teacher?
I think for me, the number one lesson of teaching is to build a relationship with your students so that you understand them and so that they know that you care. Like, I think I at least in my experience, and I don't know that this is true of everyone. Maybe it is, I don't know. But I think, like, if I know where you're coming from and I understand you, then I'm going to be able to be a better mentor. And if you know that I really care about who you are and you know that I love you, then you're going to care about what I care about.
Yeah.
So to me, that's like
What do
most important.
What do you do when, like, you have a student who you just, like, don't click with?
Yes.
You just, like, try your best to click with them.
Yeah, I mean, and some students are, like, less interested, you know? And so you try to care, again, like, as much as they care. Like, I've had, like, in my early years of teaching, I tried to care more than the students cared, and that was just burned me out. And then I couldn't really be there for the students who, like, wanted to care. Anyway. But I mean, I'm still trying to, like, you know, build a relationship with as much bandwidth as I have with everybody. And if there's someone that I really don't click with, like I had, okay, no names again, here we go. Several years ago, I went in and subbed for Mrs. Slade for one of her classes. And there was a student in there I had never met before. And this student was really mouthy, just, like, belligerent and, like, just talking back to me. Just as a sub, and I was like, wow, that's not okay. And I said something, and it just got worse and worse. And finally, I was like, this is not okay. Like, I just need to just go sit in the office because I don't need that energy here. And so she left, and then, like, and I think I had to sub again the next day, and we had a similar, like, problem. And I was like, wow, this is not my favorite student on the planet, right? And so I would see her in school and just, like, have this, like I just don't like this person, you know? And then I was sitting in Mrs. McDuff's room during lunch one time, and this student was in there working on something. And I was like, I just had, like, a little piece of my heart, like, open, and was like, just try again. And so I just said, hey, what are you doing in here? Like, how are you doing? Like, what are you up to? And started a conversation with her. And that opened a door to build a relationship, and she was just, like, one of my favorite students, worked so hard for me.
Wow.
Still, I am in touch with her, like, years later. And so if I can, like, even if I feel like I'm not clicking with a student, if I can, like, back up enough to go, okay, I need to, like, let go whatever my part is in this, and try to go at it with a little more love and care.
And give them a chance to let go a bit.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times, like, it's really easy to, like, have a story about somebody in your head and to keep that story.
For sure.
And if you can, like, let go of that, then there's an opportunity to understand them better and build a relationship. And
yeah,
so anyway.
that's really awesome.
Very cool.
But I'm not always successful.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm terrible.
You're not terrible. You try your best.
Well, you do what you can, but, like, I honestly, like, I know, like, sometimes I'm like, I need to go home and have a little heart-to-heart with myself and be like, you know, stop being a brat about this kid, you know, like, they're a good person, like, figure it out.
And I was talking about this to someone the other day, but I was like, you can feel your compassion through your teaching. And, like, I think that you're more patient than, like...
Well,
like, you just seem like a very patient, like, compassionate person.
I have 9 children. So
Yeah.
like there's like and they've gone in all kinds of crazy directions for their whole lives, and so like
9 kids is a lot.
Yeah.
yeah
You're like,
yeah
yeah.
yeah, and I feel like it's given me an opportunity to learn how to love. They're not hard to love, but but you like they don't always, you know.
They don't always make it the easiest.
Yeah, I mean that's just human nature, right?
Yeah,
like
for
we're
sure.
always
Yeah.
doing things that like rub up against the next person where you're like, oh, that doesn't look, you know.
Yeah,
I
and like
don't
once
know,
you love your
really
child
or
and they did something, then it's like next time you see someone else doing that thing, you're like, well, I love my child who's that same way, and so.
Yeah, and also I
Yeah.
think like, you know, I'm like my own little ball of mess, and I want people to be able to like have mercy and grace and compassion for me. So I'm gonna give that to
Yeah.
other people. Again, not always great at it, but I
But we try our best.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's all we have for today. So thanks for coming on, Miss Cannon. This was so much fun. And we'll see you guys next time on Senior Sessions. Thanks for listening to this episode of Senior Sessions.
Remember to get your favorite drink at Fizz in Linden today.